What's up, everybody? Welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I had to clean the lens. We are back at it again today. We are at my shop out here in Mesa, and I am freaking excited, boys. I don't know if you can see by the look on my face, but I am excited about this one. We are finally working on my car. So our boy Wedo's in town this week helping Joe at the big shop. He's got some free time tonight. After he's done working over there, he's going to come over here to my shop, and we are going to completely strip this entire car down to the bare chassis. We are on our quest to get this thing finished up, converted to a monster cruiser, painted and powder coated before the start of the season. I've got a lot of the big stuff already done, you know, new seats. I've got that new style hood, so this stuff's going to be coming off. Not quite sure what we're going to do about the dash yet. I'm probably going to switch to our new style dash as well. And then somehow I have to figure out how we are going to use the new style hood, which sits way down here, but still use my hood prop, because that's really cool. I really like that. So you can access all your electronics. As you can see, I've already been in here cutting some tie wraps, cleaning some stuff up out of the way, getting ready to gut this thing. I am friggin' stoked, boys. I cannot wait. We're going to set up a couple of cameras, throw in some time lapse, and we are going to get to work and start getting this thing friggin' stripped. I cannot wait. Also, during this rebuild, we're going to a Mendiola S4, because this motor will make way more power than that 2D can handle. It makes way more power than that thing should be handling. And, you know, I'm playing with fire there. So, like I said in my last video, or the last clip, or whatever I was doing working on that copper car, we're cutting all these shock mounts out. We're switching to the new style shock mounts in the rear, 3-inch wider arms to match the fronts. If you guys have been watching my videos in the past, you know that I've already monstered the front end of the car. Those are our Monster Cruiser arms with the new style shock mounts, put bypasses in the front. So, guys, I'm friggin' stoked. It's hotter than crap out here today. It's like 113, and it is 107 in one part of my shop, 103. So I'm going to get the swamp cooler fired back up and get it cooled off, and then we'll close the door up, turn the AC on, get it chilled down in here, and we are going to start stripping this thing. All right, well, I got most of the interior stripped out, and by that I mean the 4 seats and the side panels. Boy, it is just really hot today. Tedious work, but we're getting it done. Wedo's on his way over still, so we're going to finish getting this thing stripped down, and I am getting a delivery from a woman in a bathing suit. I just got a delivery from a woman in a bathing suit. Pretty awesome. But anyways, yeah, we're getting it stripped down here. Wedo's on his way, and we're going to get the motor and trans pulled, get the rear deck pulled, the floor pans pulled, dash, and then we'll start working on getting the suspension out. The only suspension I'm keeping is the front. The entire rear is going. I'm not using these rear arms anymore. These shocks are going away. Axles are going away. It's all getting switched to 934 midboards. So getting all big boy stuff in this car. And I can finally make a fuel filter mount instead of a hose clamp like I got down there. You know, make a plate for my A1000. Fuel cell's going to stay. I like that fuel cell. It's out of a Funko, and it works well for me. So I'll probably make a new rear deck. So anyways, guys, we're jamming right along, and yeah, going to keep moving forward. So another thing, you guys ever taken apart a car that works completely fine? Because that's what I'm doing right now, and I got a little bit of anxiety about it. You know, my car rips. Like, you guys have seen it in videos. Those of you who go to Glamis know about my car, been Duning with me. I love this thing, and there wasn't anything really wrong with it, just it was getting kind of ugly. Let me show you guys some stuff that we did in the back a long time ago. So we added this cross brace. It needs one more there. We actually redid the whole back half of this car. So that bar right there with the gussets, and then the stingers, they go all the way out underneath the car and all the way back. The whole back half of this car has been redone. As you can see, we cut it right here, and you know, put a solid piece of steel through here, solid plug, and then redid the whole back half when I switched this from a bus transmission to a 2D. And now we're changing it again to an S4, but we won't have to change any tubes. We're just gonna have to change the trans mounts. And as for the fuel cell, I think we're gonna be clear there too. So dodged the bullet on that one. We won't have to cut this fuel cell, which is good. But yeah, all this whole back half's been redone. And during the process, once this thing is stripped down, like these welds right here, this is all gonna get ground down and DA'd and smoothed out. And then the more we look at this car, look at stuff like that. That right there is definitely not San Lamo welding. I don't know where this car came from. That's not San Lamo welding. What is San Lamo welding would be that. Nice beads. That is not San Lamo welding. So we think that this car, we're pretty sure that this is not a real San Lamo. We're pretty sure it's a copy. We don't know who did it. I think it might have been someone that worked at San Lamo that was just cutting pieces out and taking piece by piece home every night and making their own cruiser at home. But yeah, this is definitely not San Lamo quality welding at all. Some of the tubes we've seen in some spots were short, and they just kind of filled it with weld. So once this thing gets stripped, we'll really know what's going on underneath here. And I'm probably gonna have Brandon just go over the entire chassis with the TIG welder and just burn all this out of there and TIG everything. So, like I said, we'll see what it looks like once it gets stripped down. Sorry for the long-winded talk, but I got a little anxiety right now because I'm stripping apart a car that I could have taken to the dunes immediately. So kind of freaks me out a little bit, but we're doing it for a purpose. We're gonna get it done, and we'll get it back together once it gets painted and powdered. All right, guys, well, she's looking pretty naked. We're making pretty good time and short work of this thing. Motor's already out. I've got it on a cart. Weto's working on the skid plate down there. Motor's sitting over there in the corner on a cart. We're gonna pull the transmission next, which is pretty easy. It's just a few bolts, disconnect the axles, and then we should be able to roll this thing back once the transmission's out and use the lift to lift it off the ground. All we'll have left is the shift linkage, electronics, fuel tank, and the front dash. And then this thing's pretty close, guys. This thing's gonna it'll get stripped today. Friggin' awesome. Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to remind you to jump on over to theduneaddict.com, get some merch. I still have a bunch of Cletus's transmission left over, and our new stickers just came in. So even if you just buy one sticker, you're gonna get a piece of Cletus transmission in every single order until they're all gone. You guys have been killing it with the merch lately, but that's theduneaddict.com. Jump on over, grab your stickers. We got air fresheners on the way, t-shirts, hats, hoodies in stock, ready to ship. Thank you guys so much. All right, Weto's here finally, and we're working on the motor now. We're gonna get the motor pulled out here in about another 5 or 6 minutes. We're gonna make a big coolant mess on the floor, but that's all good. I got a mop. Like I showed you guys earlier, interior is pretty much stripped out. We're gonna get the motor and trans pulled, and then move on to the dash, wiring, and then suspension. And this thing should be stripped down. We're gonna try to make short work of this thing, get it done. I've only got Weto for a few hours tonight. He's got to go back over to San Lamo and work tomorrow, and then he's headed back home. He's been out here all week. There's been a lot of projects over there that I'm going to be filming next week. I got a couple cars over there to wire, and Joe's got 5 or 6 cars over there getting upgrades and all kinds of stuff. So we're jumping back into it here. We're going to get this motor out, and we'll bring you guys with us when we get it out. All right, guys, so we're taking these CVs out, and I want to show you something. Hold on, This car has had these CVs. You guys can see in one of my early videos, like 3 years ago, I put these CVs in my car getting ready for Rocky Mountain Race Week. These are the 930, the Cryo ones from our friends over at Gear One. That's the same grease and the same CVs that have been in this car for 3 years. They have over 1,000 miles on the street on Rocky Mountain Race Week and 3 hard dune seasons. And take a look at that grease, guys. Look at that. It's not broken down. It's not dripping out of the boot. And all this is the black moly grease that we use at Glamis Fab. That's the same grease we use at Glamis Fab. That grease right there is 3 years old, has thousands of miles. I've never had an issue with these CVs thanks to Gear One. They hook these things up and they are just the best. They're cryo treated, race prep, the whole 9 yards. I will be running their 934s in this car, but look at that, guys. I cannot get over that. That grease is 3 years old. It don't get much better than that, boys. Well, we're almost there. Take a look at this. Let me spin it around this way. Oh, there's a transmission over there on the floor. We are almost there, guys. The way I did the harness in this car, all the electronics, it's all kind of one harness, and it's, if I really want it to, it stays with the dash. So I took my fuse panel and everything here, and it just unbolts. And when I slide the dash and console back, this will all go with it. Now, mind you, all of this stuff is getting gutted and redone. The wiring in this car has been redone like 6 times by 5 different people. And then I came through and added the switch panel, the switch assembly. So this is like somebody else's wiring, but this is mine here. I cut open the harness. It's the main harness, and everything's all red wires. So that's not good either. But yeah, for the most part, we're just about finished. I'm gonna get the steering shaft taken out. We're gonna take the shifter out, and then we're gonna slide the dash and console and all the electronics out. And then we've got floor pans, battery, and then we can move on to the suspension, which will go fast. And then we'll be dropping this thing onto the trailer so we can get it dropped off tomorrow at the stripper. So it took us a couple hours. We stopped, took a dinner break, but you guys can see from my shop, there's parts everywhere. I am gonna clean off this shelf over here and put most of my buggy parts on that shelf. And then, yeah, my floor pans I don't have to redo. I just redid those. I just need to clean them. So I'll use those floor pans will go back in. I don't have to have them resprayed. And then I got something big coming up for this dash. I think we're changing dashes to the new style dash. Not totally sure on that just yet. We'll know once it's back from the stripper and it's over at Joe's and we start really working on this thing and figuring out how we're gonna do this. But for the most part, my electronics are gonna stay here. That's what this plate's for. So I'm not changing any of that. But when I did change the shock mounts, you guys see when we cut all this off, I've still got more stuff to cut and DA. I've got a lot of cutting and DAing to do, actually, on this thing. So a lot of welding, but it'll all be worth it in the long run, guys. We've got her up on the lift. We're working on the rear suspension now. We've got the rear shock off on this side, full shock. We're dropping out the rear arm right now. And then once the rear arms, we're gonna move on to the front. And this thing is a bare chassis, boys. And getting off to the chemical stripper tomorrow. Moving quickly. We always stress the importance of anti-seize. And when these bolts were put in here years ago, they probably were not anti-seized. They are seized in there good. So I got my batteries for my stitcher charging up. We were able to get one of the 4 out. This one we had to cut. We're gonna keep cutting it out. We've moved on to the front. We got the front A-arm and shocks off on that side and stripped down. I went ahead and left all the brake system closed. I'm just gonna pull all the brake lines and calipers all out in one shot so I don't drip brake fluid everywhere. But this thing is stripped, guys. We did it in like 4 hours. I think just pretty much stripped the car down to a bare chassis. All right. Well, we're pretty much done, right? Sort of. I thought just to test our skills, maybe we should just go ahead and put it back together right now. What do you think?
I think we're good. Let's try it.
I don't think so.
Can't go to the hill anymore, huh?
Right, yeah. I mean, we could go to the hill like this, but...
Can we load on the trailer?
Then we could just light it on fire like everything else out there, and they'll think it was stripped and burned.
Right.
Well, if we light it on fire, it'll get all the powder coat off, and then I don't have to spend money at the coater.
Save the cost.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, we got it pretty much stripped. Like I showed you, the rear arms are still on. We're letting the penetrating lubricant soak in and batteries charge up so we can get these rear arms cut. And then we are finished, man. About four and a half hours to strip a San Limo. completely down from nothing to nothing. Crazy. Almost done, boys. I'm super excited, but I'm also super like anxiety because, like I said earlier, this is my car. I procrastinated and didn't do this for so long because my car always ran and it always Duned so well that I never really wanted to take it apart, you know, because it would be apart and I wouldn't be able to go Dune. And it is the summertime, so we're gonna try to get this thing rushed and powdered and fixed and done. So here we go, guys. Got a couple more things to do, and then this thing will be a complete bare chassis. All right, boys and girls, just like that. We
Done deal.
yeah, done deal. She's down to a bare chassis. My anxiety's through the moon right now, but I'm actually really excited too. I'm finally getting this thing done, and I'm gonna get it dialed in the way she deserves to be dialed in. And we have it on the lift, so nice and easy. I'll be able to back my trailer right in here, drop it on the trailer, strap it down, and head off to the coater. I'm sorry, the stripper. So we're gonna get the chassis chemically stripped for now. I don't have to do the arms or the rods or anything just yet. It's gonna be a little while before that stuff's ready for powder. So we'll go ahead and just get the chassis stripped for now and then get it over to the big shop, get it dropped off over there, and start fabbing. I've got so many of these tabs I've got to cut off, and just there's a lot of work to be done to this chassis, but we're gonna make it right. I actually tried to talk Joe into letting me put it in our chassis jig, and he told me no, and I couldn't understand why, and then he explained it to me. He said, if you stick this thing in a chassis jig, you might as well just start over and build a whole new car, because what we're gonna find out is once this goes into the chassis jig, it's probably not right, because we don't think it was built in the jig. We don't think it was built by anybody at San Remo. So if I'm gonna stick it in the jig, we might as well just start over. So what we'll do is we'll measure from corner to corner. We'll make sure it's plumb. We'll make sure the roof is plumb. Joe will do his magic with this chassis. I'm gonna be doing a lot of the grinding work and smoothing things out and DAing all of this stuff and getting it ready for powder. So I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. That's all I've got on stripping the chassis down. We're gonna get it loaded up tomorrow morning. As you guys can see, we've made an utter mess of my shop getting this old girl stripped. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise it up a little bit more, back my trailer in here, drop it down onto the trailer, and get it off to the chemical stripper. All right, well, we got the trailer backed into the shop in between the lift, and we are going to go ahead and lower this car down, get her on the trailer. Got her loaded up. It's kind of crazy to realize that that was that. Crazy, huh, babe? Yeah. So when she's all done, she will look like this. All this rear suspension is all gonna be what's on that car. We're gonna double shear the rear. We got a lot of work to do over at the chassis shop, so. All right, guys, so here we are at Express Metal Cleaning. We got the forklift out. We're gonna hook and book with the chassis here and get it into the shop, and we're gonna get it stripped. Wish it was that easy to unload every car. Well, I guess it is if you have a forklift, right? Need one in Glamis. All right, guys, so we're over here at Express Metal Cleaning. We got the car dropped off. They're gonna get it stripped, and it should be ready for us sometime middle of next week. So those guys, big shout out to Express Metal Cleaning for getting it done so quickly, and we really appreciate that. And then it's off to the main fab shop, and then you know what happens. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. Jump on over to theduneaddict.com and get your merch, and we will see you in the next video.